lang or yung bank statement lang. Pero as the business becomes complex, every one of us would be needing a solution as comprehensive as SAP B1. And if you speak of SAP, of course, the heart of everything is through the financial module. So without delaying it further, I would like to turn over the floor again to our dynamic host, Miss Fila Venci. Over to you, Fila.
Thank you, sir. Yes, indeed, the heart of the company or the heart of the system talaga is financials. So now I know you really really want na to know more. So one of Arcon's champions, Mr. Neptali Balo, who has been helping companies from different industries to drive growth and success. So now take it away for your topic.
All right, thank you, Fila. Okay, so let me share my screen first. Can you see my screen, Fila?
Yes, Nef.
All right, going back. All right. So once again, Majong hapon kanatong tanan. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so for this afternoon's session, so I will be presenting to you a refresher of some of the functionalities of financials or under the financials module. And also later on, I will also present some highlights for the version 10, also relating to the financials module. So if there are, I will present some changes or if there are nice functionalities that are being added in the version 10 of SAP B1. All right, so for our first topic is we will delve into the concept of the chart of accounts in SAP Business One. Right, so as we all know, so lahat ng entries natin, so all of the entries that we input or the marketing documents that has journal entries, lahat yun nakokolate siya under the chart of accounts or yung ating mga GL accounts. So for example, yung delivery documents, so may entry yan, your invoice, incoming payment, and as well as deposit. So all of those journal entries are being gathered inside the chart of accounts. Also with the use of the GL account determination. So example doon sa mga under doon sa mga marketing documents natin, those are the automatic journal entries. But if gusto natin na gumawa ng mga adjusting entries like mga reversals and whatnot, so yun, nagpo-fall naman siya under doon sa mga manual journal entries natin o yung ini-enter natin under the journal entries module. Okay, so once we open the chart of accounts, so ito yung makikita natin. We have the drawers na tinatawag natin. So on the right side, makita natin. On the left side naman, doon makikita natin yung mga list of the GL accounts under each drawer, yung cabinet natin. So once you click on the different drawers inside your chart of accounts, so meron tayong makikitang iba-ibang mga GL accounts. So say for example, under assets drawer, so of course, one of the example of a GL account under assets drawer is the bank account. Also under liabilities, example niyan na under the GL account, yung accounts payable account. So the first three, yung assets, liabilities, capital, and reserves, that's under the balance sheet. So a quick refresher lang, accounting 101. So account assets, liabilities, and the equity, that's under the balance sheet. And then yung sa baba naman, we have the turnover, cost of sales, operating cost, non-operating, tax, and extra. And then we have the number 9 and number 10 drawers, which would fall under the profit and loss. So turnover drawer, example ng mga GL accounts niyan is yung mga sales, mga revenue accounts natin. Okay, so as mentioned, yun yung mga profit and loss drawers and the balance sheet drawers. So ultimately, yung end goal naman why we do that or why we enter journal entries is because we want to view different financial statements or financial reports. So example of that is yung balance sheet. So we want to view the balance sheet. We also want to generate trial balance and as well as yung income statement o yung tinatawag na profit and loss statement. Okay, so if you're wondering para saan yung number 9 or number 10, usually for some companies, all of their clearing accounts or clearing GL accounts, doon nila ginagather doon sa number 9 or number 10. Okay, so for example, mga clearing accounts could be the like post-dated clearing accounts, mga undeposited cash, goods receipt clearing. So, ang mga accounts payable clearing, pwede natin siyang ilagay doon sa number 9 na drawer. Kasi ang tendency, or pwede naman siya ihalo doon sa mga other drawers, but the tendency is if we generate the reports, pwede siyang mahalo. So, if may mga clearing accounts doon, need mo pa siyang itanggal doon sa report. So, for some, yung number 9 or number 10, ginagawa nilang clearing account drawers. So, if you're wondering, pwede ba siyang i-rename natin yung number 9 and number 10 na drawers? Yes, pwede. So to do that, so actually that's under, of course, the financials module. Okay, click lang natin financials and then chart of accounts. So once you click on the number 9 drawer or number 10, click nyo lang yung number 9 sa taas. Yan. And then you can now rename that certain drawer or the cabinet. So pwede i-rename natin na clearing account. So you still have an extra na drawer. We have number 10, so you can still make use of that drawer if meron pa kayong other type of GL accounts na gustong idagdag. Right? Okay, so that's for the chart of accounts. So as recommended during implementation, so we have 5 levels as per recommendation. We will have 5 levels of the GL accounts, but pwede naman siya more than level 5 kasi under or in SAP B1 we have 10 levels naman. So you can still define a lot, or kung meron pa kayong sub-classifications of your GL accounts, you can still reach level 10. But as per parang optimal na leveling of your chart of accounts, we can have until level 5. So for level 5, that would be, or that would serve as your postable na GL account. So example lang nito is we have here in your screen. So sa assets, we can have a current asset and a fixed asset. So that's level 2 kasi yung drawers natin, that would be already level 1 na yun sila. And then under fixed assets, we can still have another classification under fixed assets. So that would serve as level 3. So fixed asset can either be tangible assets or intangible assets. So that's level 3. So under level 3, we can still do sub-classification of that level 3. So for example, for tangible assets, we can have land and buildings or yung PPE, plant and machinery. For intangible assets, we can have formation expenses or yung patents. And then lastly is, of course, need natin ng active account or yung postable account. So that would be the level 5 or yung kung saan na tayo magpo-post ng ating mga entries. So example niyan, under land and buildings, can either be buildings or the freehold land. For plant and machinery, active accounts, or other certain specific active accounts. Okay? Right. So yung mga naka-blue, that would be the title account, meaning hindi siya pwedeng ma-postan. And then the green one, those are default accounts. So pwede kasi tayong maglagay ng mga default accounts, like for example for AR, ano ba yung default na accounts receivable account. And then yung black, that would be the active account. Okay, so to manage the chart of accounts, so we have 2 options. Of course, we have the chart of accounts window, yung merong drawer on the right side, and the other one is the edit chart of accounts window. So sa chart of accounts window, we can view information about existing accounts and then update the different properties of existing accounts. For the edit chart of accounts window, you can add new title, you can delete an account. So under edit chart of accounts lang tayo pwedeng mag-delete ng account. And we can change the structure of the chart of accounts and move titles and accounts. So if we want to move yung arrangement ng mga GL accounts natin, we can only do that under the edit chart of accounts. Okay, so for the chart of accounts window, meron tayo dyang account details na button. Okay, so sa account details na button, pwede tayo mag-set ng active or inactive na dates. So for example, mayroon lang tayo mga GL accounts na active lang siya for a certain season or for a certain date range. So pwede natin siyang i-define dyan. Or pwede din natin i-define sa account details kung ano lang yung allowable na amount na pwedeng ipasok or parang threshold natin for a certain account. For example, for a certain expense account, pwede tayong mag-define na, okay, pwedeng hanggang 50K lang ang allowed na ma-expense for this certain expense account. So once na mag-go beyond siya ng 50K, pwede natin siyang lagyan ng blocking or pwede gawa ng or pwede siya magbigay ng warning na nag-go beyond ka na doon sa sinet natin na threshold for that certain GL account. As you can see doon sa right side, pwede natin i-define kung paano ba yung magiging action ng system if na-detect niya na nag-go beyond ka doon sa sinet mo na threshold. So for example, for this one, meron tayong account balance allowed, tinake lang niya and then define lang niya ang from and to. You have the 100 to 5,000. So once na nag-reach na ng 5,000, yung expense for that certain GL account, we can either without warning only, meaning magpa-prompt lang siya na nag-exceed na tayo doon sa account, or we can block posting. Okay, so if you say block posting, hindi talaga siya makaka-proceed kasi nag-go beyond ka doon sa sinet natin na threshold. Okay, so that's for the chart of accounts. Next concept or next functionality under the financials module is we have the posting periods. Okay, so for posting periods, usually for most companies naman in the Philippines, we do the monthly na posting periods. Ayan. So as you can see on the illustration, if monthly siya, naka-dash the month, the number of the month siya. So for example, 2018-01, that's the first day of your fiscal year. Then 2018, second month of that fiscal year, and so on. So sa posting period, so hindi tayo pwedeng makapag-post ng any transactions inside SAP B1 as long as wala pa tayong na-define na posting period for that certain date na gusto mong mag-post. So usually for natatanggap namin ng mga tickets for this certain issue, for example, is during New Year. So for most companies, hindi pa nila na-add yung latest na fiscal year date or posting period date dun sa B1. So that may cause an error na posting deviation date dun sa system natin. So usually nag-raise ng concern kasi hindi pa na-add yung latest na posting period date. So in that case, yung recommendation natin is we add in advance yung mga posting period na advance na yung years na i-add natin ng mga posting period. Like for example, we have this year is 2024, yung recommendation is mag-add na tayo ng 2025 na posting period or so on para later on, once the users will transact doon sa mga certain posting dates na yon, is hindi siya magkaka-error. Okay. So for the posting period is we can define that per year, per quarter, per month, or per days. And Philippine setup, we do that per months. So meron din tayong case actually na may client na nagkamali sila. So ang nangyari doon is ang nagawa nila na posting period is per year. So ano ba yung possible na effect if for example, per year yung ginawang posting period? So one of the repercussion for that is if gusto mong mag-post ng depreciation expense per month, hindi mo siya pwedeng gawin per month since yung posting period mo is per year. So you can only post your depreciation expense if naka-per year yung setup mo. So once ka lang pwedeng makapag-post ng depreciation expense. But ano na siya, naka-lump na yun lahat. Hindi na siya per month. So be careful lang once you create or update your posting periods. Just make sure na tama yung na-select natin na period na per month. Hindi siya dapat per year. Okay? So these are the posting periods caveats. So first is the beginning of the fiscal year can only be the first day of a month. And then create the oldest posting periods first. Create a new posting period in advance as recommended. So advance na natin ang pag-create ng mga posting periods natin. And then nag-error siya if may nag-overlapping na periods. And then GL account determination is save a period and is copied from the previous period to the next. And then make decisions together with the client accountant. And lastly, be careful when creating your posting periods. Kasi once you have already created a posting period and meron na siya mga transactions, hindi na siya pwedeng i-delete. Okay, so okay lang siya if wala pa siyang mga transactions, pwede pa siyang ma-update or ma-delete. But once na nakapag-create na tayo ng posting periods and meron nang nagawang transactions, hindi na siya pwedeng i-delete. Okay, so next is we proceed to the posting of a journal entry. Okay, so for the journal entry, so basically we do the manual journal entries other than dun sa mga automatic natin na journal entries, which is a result of those marketing documents. Like for example, AR invoice, accounting payment, deposit, goods receipt PO, AP invoice. So as we transact with those marketing documents, hindi na tayo nag-entry manually ng mga entries since meron na tayong GL account determination. So meron na siyang automatic journal entries. But other than that, like for example, yung mga adjusting journal entries, mga reversals, we can do a manual journal entry. So that would be done under the journal entry document. Okay, so ito yung interface ng ating journal entry. So we have here the document header data. So dito makita yung mga basic information with regards to that journal entry. For example, yung posting date, due date, doc date, and then yung remarks. And then on the content part, have here yung ano yung debit mo, ano yung credit na GL accounts, as well as yung mga amounts and other, for example, mga cost centers. So dito din natin define. Okay, so we have here the journal entry working methods. So if gusto nating mag-enter ng manual journal entries, according to this screen, press the tab key to display the accounts list. So if we press or if we click on the accounts na column, tapos i-press mo yung tab, so mag-display yung lahat ng GL accounts under the chart of accounts. If you press Control Tab, ang mag-display is yung list of all the business partners, customers, or vendors or leads. And then use the context menu to display either list. So this one, yung context menu, this is helpful if you are using the web browser or the web client since if for example, naka-Chrome ka, hindi naman siya mag-work if naka-control tab ka. I think pag naka-control tab, iba yung function na nangyayari. So if you are using the web browser access, you can right-click and then makita mo yung list of accounts or list of business partners. So to demonstrate, so ganito siya sa system. So that's under the journal entry document. Okay, so as mentioned, once we click the tab, yan yung mag-appear the list of accounts under the chart of accounts. And then if we press Control Tab, yan, so yan yung list of all the customers and vendors. So this is helpful if we are going to entry multiple control accounts since hindi naman tayo pwedeng mag-entry ng multiple control accounts sa mga marketing documents. So pwede din right-click, have the list of accounts, or pwede din right-click list of business partners. So this is useful if naka-web browser access tayo. You use the right-click when you want to display the list of the business partners. Right. Next is we'll have the recurring postings. Okay, so for recurring postings, usually ginagamit natin siya if mga may monthly na amortization, mga monthly mga rent expense, na gusto natin siya na i-recur na without minding if na-post na ba yung certain entries na yan. So that's under the recurring postings. So for the recurring postings, this would be the interface. So recurring postings, that's still under the financials module. Yan, so need lang natin i-define kung ano ba yung debit and credit na entry na gusto nating i-recur every time. So in this example, meron siyang rent na gustong i-recur monthly. So we have here the debit property rent of 1,000 and then gyro bank account or yung cash in bank account niya na credit 1,000. So we can define the month or yung ano ba yung interval ng frequency for a certain recurring posting. So in this example, we have monthly, and then we can also define kung anong day of that certain month siya dapat mag-pop out na for confirmation na siya or for execution of posting. So in this case is every 10th of the month. And then the next execution is on this month or on this day of a certain month. And we can also define kung hanggang kailan lang siya pwedeng valid or kailan siya hanggang mag-recur. In this example, until this date. Okay, so for example, for rent or for leasing, so of course, meron tayong contract niyan and we would know kung kailan lang siya valid yung certain lease contract. So we can already define kung hanggang kailan lang siya mag-recur. So we can make use of the recurring postings. Okay, so as mentioned, we have here the options for our frequency for the recurring postings. We have the daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, annually, and one time. Okay, and then once na magpa-pop out na siya, once you log into your SAP Business One, meron na siyang mag-appear na screen na for confirmation of the recurring posting, which is need mo lang siyang i-click and then i-execute. So hindi mo na siya, wala na yung tendency na baka makalimutan natin i-post yung certain recurring transaction or yung amortization. Okay, so how do we do that? Okay, so as mentioned, that's under financials module and then under recurring postings. Okay, so example lang, we have here a rent expense. Yan, need mo lang i-define kung ano yung debit and credit na GL account as well as yung debit and credit na amount. And then define natin yung frequency, example monthly lang. So on every 26 of the month, and we can define valid until. So once na mag-pop out na siya, and ganito yung mag-a-appear sa screen natin. So ito yung list of all the recurring posting transactions. And then need mo lang siyang i-highlight yung certain na mga transactions na gusto mong i-post and then execute mo lang. Alright. So next topic under the financial module, we have the journal voucher. Okay, so si journal voucher, so basically that's the draft version of our journal entry. So if we say draft version, hindi pa siya posted. So para lang siyang draft doon sa ating mga marketing documents, hindi pa siya posted. So for ano pa lang siya, for confirmation or for double checking of our in charge doon sa journal entry, or for example, yung accounting manager natin. Okay, so how do we use the journal vouchers? So yan, once the user create the journal voucher, yung journal vouchers would be collated under the journal voucher document in SAP B1. And after that, kung sino man yung in charge dun sa final posting ng journal vouchers would need to correct and update or review yung mga na-post na journal vouchers. And then, once na na-post na siya, is mapupunta na siya dun sa journal entry na document or sa journal entry file, meaning permanent na siya, permanently posted na yung document, hindi na siya draft. Okay, so how do we create a journal voucher? Okay, so step 1 lang, click lang natin yung add journal entry to new voucher. And then once you click on the step 1, may mag-appear na new screen which is the journal voucher entry. Define lang natin ano yung debit and credit and yung amounts. And after that is step 3, add entry to existing voucher. And then lastly, for the step 4, gagawin lang siya doon sa in charge kung sino man yung nagre-review ng mga journal voucher. So click niya lang post voucher or highlight niya lang yung certain voucher and then click post voucher. Okay, so we also have the journal voucher report. So si journal voucher report is nandito yung list of all the existing journal vouchers, open journal vouchers na dapat pang i-review by the accounting manager, for example. And then need niya lang i-tick kung ano yung mga dapat i-post. So from the report, you can view, edit, or post vouchers, and then post a certain entry out of a journal voucher. Okay, so how to create a journal voucher. So that's under the financials module. And then click lang natin yung add entry to the journal voucher. And then define lang natin ano yung debit, ano yung credit. And then if okay na yung amounts, yan, post or update lang natin yung journal voucher entry. Okay, so once na okay na siya, click lang natin update. And then yun, we already created or posted a journal voucher. So on the approver side naman, pwedeng gamitin niya yung journal voucher report. We have journal voucher report. I-click niya lang yung journal voucher report and click OK. And then makita niya yung list of all the open journal voucher report. And so click niya lang kung ano yung mga postable or parang reviewed na entries. And then click post lang. And so once maklik niyo yung post, yung list would become grayed out, meaning na post na yan, napunta na siya sa journal entry document. Okay, so yan, posted na yung journal entry natin from the journal voucher. All right, so next is we have this function. I think hindi pa lahat naka-explore ng functionality na to under the financials module is we can have the multiple business partner reconciliation. So yung scenario dito is, for example, yung customer natin is at the same time supplier natin. Okay? So for example, si customer na supplier din natin would ask us na i-offset na lang yung ating receivable from that certain customer to the payable natin. So dun sa payable na side naman natin, dun kay vendor din natin at the same time. So that function is, natawag natin siyang connected business partner. So need lang din nating i-define dun sa business partner master data yung connected BP niya. So dun, for example, kay customer A, meron din siyang vendor A. So need natin siyang i-define dun sa business partner master data na connected yun sila. Na si customer A at the same time is a vendor or vendor A din siya. So as mentioned by the customer, gusto niya i-offset yung receivable and yung payable natin doon kay vendor. So we can do that under the multiple business partner reconciliation. Okay, so to demonstrate, so that's under, need muna natin i-define under the business partners kung ano yung mga connected BP. So that's under the business partner master data. So for example, si customer A, yan. So define lang natin under accounting kung ano yung equivalent niya na vendor. At the same time, vendor din natin, at the same time, customer. We have here vendor A is also customer A. And so that's under accounting tab and then connected BP. Then once we do the reconciliation, so meaning i-offset natin yung AR at EP, click lang natin sa reconciliation. And then dapat nakatick si consider connected BP. And then select lang natin either of the two, kung customer or vendor. And customer A and vendor A, and then click reconcile. So once we click on reconcile, so i-select na lang natin kung ano yung AR and AP na gusto nating i-offset. So in this example, si invoice, yung 5K, i-offset natin siya doon sa payable natin kay supplier na 5K. Okay? So ang goal lang natin nito is dapat 0 and then click reconcile. So yung effect niyan is basically yung previously debited na receivable would be credited. Yung previously na credited na payable would be debited. So check natin sa journal entry. So yan na yung magiging entry. So customer A, credit, and then the vendor A, debit. Ayan. So no need na i-manual mo pa siya. So we can already in just a few clicks offset the amount of our AR and AP if yung use case is same na customer and vendor natin, yung certain entity. All right, so that's for the some refresher of the functionalities of financials module. Now we will proceed with the version 10 highlights on financial management. Okay, so one of the updates on the version 10 regarding dun sa financial management is pwede na tayong mag-drill down dun sa ating mga reports. So example of the reports are the balance sheet, the trial balance, and the profit and loss statement. So once we generate those reports, unlike for the previous versions, wala siyang golden arrow na kung for example gusto mo makita yung breakdown nung amount na yan, hindi mo siya pwedeng makita. But what you can do is i-minimize mo muna yung report and then i-check mo muna dun sa chart of accounts, which could be tedious if you want to check multiple GL accounts. So in that case, in version 10, meron na siyang golden arrow beside the GL account. As you can see in this example, under COGS domestic, meron na siyang highlighted na golden arrow. So once we click on the golden arrow, maridirected na tayo doon sa chart of accounts, and then we can check on the breakdown of that certain GL account. So take note, that's under or available in balance sheet, trial balance, and profit and loss statement. So benefit, of course, is we'll have the direct access to account details and account balance of relevant accounts, increases usability and transparency, and then streamlined with standard system behavior. So example lang, so let's take a look at a sample financial statement. So under financials, let's check on a sample financial statement. Their financial, and say for example, balance sheet. Okay. So generate lang tayo ng balance sheet. And then level 5 lang natin. So as you can see, meron na siyang golden arrow beside the GL accounts. Okay. So once you click on the yellow arrow, ayan, pwede na natin i-check yung breakdown ng mga GL accounts. So example yan, cash in bank, na-check natin yung breakdown. Another is we want to check on the merchandise inventory entries. So click lang natin yung yellow arrow, and then we can view the journal entries under such GL account. So yun yung parang streamlined or easier or convenient way to check on the breakdown. Since on version 10, meron na tayong golden arrow beside the reports. Next is we have another posting periods enhancements. Okay, so for posting periods, meron ng search box sa taas. Unlike for previous versions, if we want to search on like the latest na mga posting period dates, is need mo pa siyang i-scroll down. Yan, need mo pa siya. For example, yung first na posting period natin is 2000, and then 2024 na ngayon, so need ko pang i-scroll down sa baba, ilang posting period din yan, para mahanap yung tumong month na i-update. So for version 10, pwede mo nang i-search. I-click lang natin or i-search lang natin sa find na search box, and then double-click on the certain column, and then pwede mo nang i-enter kung ano yung posting period na gusto mong i-update or i-search. And then another update on the posting period is pwede na nating i-define kung ano yung hanggang saan lang yung due date for the next posting period or next financial year. So for example, in this case, January yung define natin na month for the due date of the next financial year. So once we create a posting period, automatically until January lang yung the next year yung magiging due date 2. Okay, so for example, in this one, the posting period na nag-create tayo ng 2020 until January 1, or January 31 of 2021 yung due date 2 kasi yun yung dinefine natin na month for the next financial year. So a new checkbox added to the posting periods window enables to define the default due date to be set when creating new posting periods, and the sorting of columns is now possible within the posting periods form. Filtering is now possible within the posting periods form, and the find field allows for quick free text searching. So to demo, ano yung ni-refer nung update na yon, so that's under system initialization, posting periods, and then we now have a search bar under the posting periods. So i-search lang natin, for example, 2024. Ayan. So once we enter the value, ayan, mag-highlight na yung gusto natin i-search na posting period. Unlike before na hahanapin mo siya, hindi mo siyang scroll down para makita lang yung gusto mong i-update na posting period. And then you can also define kung hanggang kailan, hanggang month of the next financial year yung magiging due date 2. In this case, ang dinefine ko is February. So automatically, when we try to create a new posting period until February 28 yung magiging due date 2. Right, so that's an improvement under posting period. Next is under journal entry document. So for under journal entry document, yung remarks na field niya is na-increase na into 254 characters. So ito din yung usual na clamor for some clients na hindi sila makalagay ng mahabang remarks doon sa ginagawa nilang journal entry. So before, limited lang siya. So for version 10, under FP 2008 update, the remarks field in journal entry is extended and may contain up to 254 characters. So the length of the reference tree fields in the header and rows are increased to 100 characters. So ngayon, you can like describe na, properly describe kung ano yung nature nung ginagawa mong journal entry. Kasi medyo mahaba na yung remarks field. Alright, so another update under the version 10 of SAP B1 is meron ng warn message before adding manual journal entries. So unlike before, if we like to add, pwede na siya ma-post agad-agad. But when adding a manual journal entry, a system message appears to warn that journal entries cannot be changed after adding them. So that update happened under version 10 of SAP B1 FP 2008. And another update regarding financial module, we have the updating reference field in journal entries with locked posting periods. Okay, so before, if nakalock na yung posting periods, hindi na pwedeng mag-update ng mga Ref 1, Ref 2, and Ref 3. So for version 10, update of the remarks, Ref 1, Ref 2, Ref 3, and user-defined fields in journal entries with locked posting periods is enabled. So nangyari yan under FP 2011. Okay, lastly is we have the refresh function in financial reports enabled. So before, if you want to generate a journal ledger or GL accounts and business partner, and then gusto mong i-refresh, baka may mga bagong nangyaring entry, is need mo pa siyang i-close and then generate ulit. And then for the version 10 is we can now click the refresh button and then magre-refresh na yung report. No need na to close that certain report kasi meron ng refresh button and then nag-refresh siya ulit yung report. So yung mga report na pwedeng i-click yung refresh button is yung dalawa lang, yung general ledger and the GL accounts and business partner. Okay, so yung update na yan, nangyari yan under FP 2105 or yung nung 2021 on the month of May na update ni SAP B1. Alright, so I think that's it for on my end. So actually, yun lang yung the refresher and the updates of the version 10. So if you have questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat box and we will answer it during the panel. Back to you, Fila.
Okay na, thank you for that insightful learning about financials module. Okay, so are we still good? Okay pa ba ang tanan? So let me see your thumbs up or heart reactions before we will proceed to the next part. Okay? Okay, so I think there are so many questions in the chat box, so we will be answering that later on. So right now, I would like to request our participants to please answer this quick survey form flashed on your screen. Okay, so you may scan it using your camera phones and you will be redirected to a form. So as you all know, one entry is your ticket for the raffle later on. And also we will be sending the link of that survey form via chat box. And also, as part of our ongoing commitment to your success, we will be scheduling a courtesy visit. So, as seen also in the feedback form, this is to check on how you are finding SAP Business One and to discuss any further assistance ARC One solutions can provide to enhance your experience. Because again, here in ARC One, we've always got you covered. So right now, I'd like to call on our panelists for today. May I ask Mr. Neftali Balo, our SAP Business One Solutions Architect, and our account managers from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. We have Mr. Glenn Mujeres, Miss Marife Crucero, Mr. Ruel Abustan, Mr. Alain Arabe, and Miss Angeline Cepeda. So can you please say hi to our valued clients?
Hi everyone, maayong hapon.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay. So
Hello,
para
everyone.
tong
Good
para
afternoon.
tong pageant, no, from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Packed. Okay. So I think we'll have first question addressed to Mr. Naphtali Balo. So is there a system approval for journal voucher, and also um as everything that you have shown, is it for SAP version 10, or is it also can be used for SAP version na 9.2 or 9.3?
Ano siya, yung approval for the journal voucher, currently wala pa siyang approval for the journal vouchers. I think yun yung mga gusto din nating i-raise kay SAP. But currently wala pa siya. Ang pwedeng workaround lang natin na gawin is once na may na-create na journal voucher, pwedeng meron sigurong alert na mag-notify doon sa user na meron na na-create na journal voucher, and then pwede niyang i-check and then pwede niyang i-post to the journal entry. As to the versions, currently is nasa 24.05 na tayo ng version 10. So yung mga highlights na pinakita ko would only be useful or can be used if you are under version 10. So if nasa lower versions, 9.3 below, wala pa yung mga updates na yun on those versions.
Okay. Sige, so for the benefit na lang siguro of everyone to know, so this can be answered by anyone from account managers ha. So if I am a client and I am planning to upgrade my version, whether it be I am from 9.3 or 9.2 and I'll be upgrading to version 10, is there a payment or who will charge me if ever there is? So anyone from our account managers can answer.
Yes, hi, good afternoon. So the installer for the version is for free, no, as long as you are under maintenance. If you will get our service to do the upgrade, then yun lang yung may fee natin, the service upgrade. Pero if your team is capable naman of doing the upgrade, yes, you can just download the patch or the upgrade version, tapos yung team yun na yung magro-roll out. Yeah, it's for free.
Okay, so there's a follow-up question. So speaking from Nef of Intact. So speaking of version updates, when was the latest patch and you do send patch notifications?
Is RV here or
RV,
Brad Neff?
Yeah, RV
uh,
or Nef.
si, si
Hi,
Hi,
Brad
RV
Neff.
good
yung
afternoon.
mas
Hi, Brad. Yes, Brad.
updated.
Hi,
Yes,
RV.
hi, good afternoon. So the latest batch is 2405, which is released just this month. And for notification, normally if you have SID, you can always check the SIP portal. There is meron din calendar sa SIP website when they are planning to release those SIP versions na bagong version.
Yeah, to add na lang to Neff, no? Good question 'yan. We'll include that one if ever may mga latest patches. We'll include an email, we'll email blast it para everyone will know. Yeah. Sige, gagawin namin 'yan for updating. Thank you, thank you.
Okay. So yes, we will be sending it over um care of the account managers, right, Glenn?
Yeah, pwede. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Sige, so would like to ask everyone to please answer the survey form because we will be closing it in 3 minutes. Okay. So another question, I don't know if this has been answered. A question from Miss Karen, sa recurring po ba mapopost po ba yung kahit nakalock pa yung period? I think this should be answered by Nef.
Hindi siya mapopost, miss, if lock na yung posting period. So mag-rely pa rin siya kung ano yung status ng posting period doon sa gusto mong posting date sa recurring posting.
Okay.
Mag-error siya.
Okay. And another from Miss Princess, how to restrict a user to view or find a journal entry or voucher posted by another user.
Okay. Restriction of a journal entry created by another user. We have to confirm pa if this is under or pwede siyang mag-fall under the data ownership. Meron kasi tayong data ownership na functionality in V1 na pwedeng hindi ma-view ng other users. But we still have to check if yung journal entry meron ba siyang ownership na button or field na pwedeng mag-define ng owner.
Okay. Thank you, Nef. Another one from Ms. Chari Poblete. Can cost centers editable even journal voucher posted as permanent file?
Yes, pwede natin i-edit. We can edit the cost centers. Need lang nating balikan yung the journal entry. Usually, di ba, is if yung posted na yung marketing documents, hindi siya na-edit dun sa mismong interface ng marketing documents. Ang need natin gawin is i-view natin yung journal entry niya and then we can edit from there.
Okay. Thank you, Nef. So are there still questions from our participants before we will end the session? May nag-raise ng hand.
May nag-raise ng hands, apat, si Miss Tina, si Miss Glory Lynn, tsaka si Sir Mike and Miss Angeli. Yes?
Yeah,
Do you
hi.
have questions? Miss Tina?
Yeah, si Miss Tina, si Miss Glorilyn, si Sir Mike, si Miss Angeli.
Yes, oo.
O baka yung kanina
Dalawa
to.
na lang.
O, dalawa
Baka
na
kanina
lang.
Okay.
So baka yung kanina to when I
okay.
asked if how are they. Okay.
Okay. Sige. If you have questions, please feel free to type in sa chat
Meron
box
pa
or
pala
open your mic. No?
kay Sir Charles Quinones. Ask ko lang if mag-upgrade ba kami ng 9.3 version to 10, may possible po ba na may ma-encounter na problems? So I think Nef or RV can answer.
Yes, si RV.
Oo, okay. Um, So if 9.3, it really depends, but if there's an error, we can always raise it to SAP Business One support, and then normally they have resolution naman. But typically, if version upgrade, yung affected lang talaga minsan is yung reports. Baka may changes sa font layout, format, and then sa layout as a whole. So that's the thing na we need to check. And then yung mga UDF, UDTs, yung mga user-defined na mga functionalities ni SAP. But typically, everything should be fine. Wala siyang major error talaga. Unless may na-modify tayo. We check for may true back-end tayong na-edit. Yun, magkaka-issue tayo. But if wala naman, should be good to go naman anytime.
Yeah, Brad Arvs.
Yes.
To add to the question, let's say they do the upgrade themselves.
Mhm.
Ano ba yung dapat tignan before they process the upgrade
Yeah.
Okay,
on their
good
end?
question.
Sige.
Normally, what we suggest is if you're doing an upgrade, dapat gagawa ka ng test environment talaga. Huwag sa production upgrade. So, you should upgrade a separate or create a separate environment, create yung parang replicate yung mga setup ninyo, and then restore mo yung bagong database nyo doon, and then process the upgrade. So, by doing that, yung production upgrade is safe, production database is safe, we can still transact to SAP. Once everything is done sa test environment natin, then if there are encountered errors or mga issues, you can fix there and then apply mo na lang yun, fix sa latest or sa production upgrade na mismo.
Brad, how about sa server side or sa hardware side?
Server
They want
side
to-
and hardware side, normally if it's version 10, you need to make sure na compatible pa yung OS, yung pinaka-latest. I think based on my last check is yung server dapat is at least 2016, if not 2019. And then sa SQL
That's OS, no?
server,
OS?
OS.
2016, 2019. Okay.
Yep. And then for the SQL, 2017, and then yung latest pa supported as of now is 2019 and SQL. And then for the memory or the CPU, just make sure na as of now, if you're doing an upgrade sa mismong production server, okay pa yung current na utilization. Because if ever it's already 90% yung utilization natin, either CPU or RAM, you need to upgrade muna bago kayo mag-upgrade yung hardware natin, tsaka ka mag-upgrade ng SAP version to make sure to accommodate the resources na required ni SAP Business One version 10 because there are a lots of improvements and those improvements is taxing to the hardware itself na din. So, malaki na yung resources na kailangan sa mga bagong versions ng SAP.
Okay, thank you, Brad. And then for those who want to upgrade, let us know. We can help you assess your server, no, kung compatible pa ba.
Yes.
That's for
yes.
free. That's for free. Just let us know. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Brad
Ars.
Ars.
Thank you, Glenn. Another question from Sameline Animeta. How to display the deposit under banking the cash details in order to close it. The same with PDC and current checks.
Are you referring sa Milin to kung paano siya i-deposit yung cash on hand? So if yun, ano siya, merong tab doon under deposit module or deposit document that yung cash na tab. And then you can select yung cash on hand or yung clearing na cash clearing mo. And then define lang kung how much of that certain cash on hand amount yung i-deposit mo and then click post.
Okay. Another question from Miss Florence. Mayroon na ba sa new version na you can select the specific module and i-lock ang posting period like inventory lang ang i-lock?
specific module lang ang ilak ang posting period. Inventory lang ang ilak. Yung workaround, walang pang ganyan na specific posting period na authorization regarding na nakalink din sa module. Ang pwedeng workaround niyan is yung authorization as to kung sino lang na user ang pwedeng makapag update doon sa close na status sa posting period. Pwede kasi yon na i-close yung status ng posting period and then bigyan ng authorization yung certain users. The rest na hindi related to inventory, wala silang authorizations. But as to your question na meron ba, wala pa siyang ganun na functionality. Pwedeng ganun lang na workaround. Specific users lang yung pwedeng or merong i-restrict ang na user na pwedeng mag-access ng certain posting period date.
Okay. So a question related to version upgrade from Miss Anna Labres. Laging naglalak agad yung check printing after 2 prints. May settings po ba to fix it?
Meron ka with this issue?
We haven't encountered it yet, but if there is a problem, you can always raise it to our support, which is SAP SAP B1 Care at arc1.com.ph, so that we can check it. Kasi baka it's a bug or version bug, so we can check it. Kasi as of now, wala kami na-encounter na na-raise yung same issue.
Okay, so you just raised a ticket using the email that RV said. Okay, what will be the specific specs required on upgrading SAP version 10, or what is the minimum memory and storage required? This is for you, Arvs.
Yeah. Since we are existing na SAP user, so I am assuming na existing tayo, so it really depends on the database size. That's how we calculate yung specs natin and then yung users. But if it's fresh or bago pa yung SAP natin and then or kakasimula pa lang natin, normally 4 CPUs, 16 gig na RAM, and then at least 100 gig. But that's the starter. But if you're already been using it for years, we have to check yung current na setup natin and then yung size ng database.
Okay. For the version 10, ours is Windows 11 OS, okay for client?
Yes.
Okay. Sige, kay Miss Lindy Joy, when the record po sa incoming, pwede po bang pumasok muna sa deposit bago magpunta sa cash in bank?
Are you referring sa flow, Miss Lindy? Ang flow is incoming payment muna talaga bago mag-deposit. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-deposit muna bago incoming. Please correct me if hindi ko na nakuha yung question.
Okay. Sige, from Sir Ricard, is there a manual or instructions for updating patch? Arvs.
Okay, for the patch itself or upgrading, we have may document kami, but that is just generic na document or guide. So if ever you encounter yung issue or may mga warnings, so it really depends kung ano yung warning kasi. So it really depends on the database itself. But you can always raise it. But if you need that specific document for how to upgrade, we can always send it to you if ever needed.
Okay, so are there any more questions? None so far na? Or mag-email na lang sa sapb1care@arc-1.com.ph. So it's in the chat box also. Okay, so before we'll end and proceed to the raffle, may I ask ending statements na lang from our panel before we'll end the Q&A. We'll start off by Nef, Glenn, Marife, Ruel, Elaine, and Angeline.
So ayun, I hope you learned something lang during the refresher training and dun sa mga pinakita kong functionalities, especially dun sa mga version 10 highlights. So I would recommend na you upgrade if naka 9.3 pa lang kayo below. Since ang daming innovations na ginagawa sa SAP for the version 10, especially if gusto niyo mag-explore dun sa web client na functionality, maraming dinagdag na functionalities doon, especially or featuring doon yung dashboard. So wala yan noon, but in version 10 free na si dashboard. Yan lang.
Okay, Glenn. Thank
Yes,
you
hi,
na.
hi. Good afternoon. Maayong hapon sa tanan. Natawa lang ako sa chat ni Sir Mike, no. So, ayun. Thank you for always joining our sessions. Hopefully, we'll see you again on our next session. Ano ba yung next module, Phil? Mag-i-email lang tayo, no?
Later.
Later, yes, we'll email it to you. And then if you have any concerns, just reach out to your account managers or send us an email sa SAP Care, yung email address na nasa chat box. And then yan, daghang salamat, maayong hapon.
Marife.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending this refresher training, and I hope we've all learned something valuable today. And of course, I look forward to seeing you all again in our next session. So if you have any question or require assistance, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.
Ruel. Nandito ba si Ruel?
Nakamute ka, bro.
Sorry, nakamute pala ako, no. Hello, partners, no. Good afternoon. And thank you for attending our online event. So please expect an email or call from us for a courtesy visit soon. So let's have a tech update, no. Thank you.
Elaine.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to encourage all of you to please refer if you have friends from other companies who are not using SAP. You know that SAP is good for your business in streamlining your business process. So I encourage everyone to spread the word about Arc One and SAP Business One. We are here to assist you in everything that you need. So yeah, especially Bisman area, since I handle Bisman. Thank you.
Okay, the Miss Taylor Swift of Arc One. Hi, Ange.
Wala ka, yan. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Angeline Cepeda, one of the account managers here in Arc One, covering North Luzon area. I would like to express my gratitude, and I would like to thank everyone for attending this webinar and for always supporting Arc One for every online webinars we had. So in case you missed anything, there's a recording that recaps everything we covered. And just feel free to go back and review if you need to. And of course, we are always available and glad to assist all of your concerns and inquiry. Again, thank you very much and have a good day to all.
Okay. So yeah, again, so if you would like to ask a recap for today's webinar, please like and subscribe Arc One's YouTube channel. And also for the courtesy visit, please expect a call from us for our clients in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So we'll see you soon in your office. So now,
Nila,
I'd like, yes.
sa Q&A may question ata si Miss Annalyn. Miss Annalyn, is there a warning if there is a negative balance on cash?
Oh yeah, meron pa. Sorry. Mama answer ba to kanina?
Yes, pwede doon sa pinakita kong allowable na amount sa account details under chart of accounts. Yung value doon is from and to. So if nag-exceed siya pwede nating ilagay doon sa certain amount, and then if nag-negative siya, may pwedeng warning or mabablock yung ipo-post na might cause a negative balance to your cash.
Okay. So I hope it answered your question, Miss. Okay. So right now, may I request everyone to please on their cameras for the photo op before the raffle. Okay. Naka-on na ba ng cameras lahat? Han, pwede mong ma-exit tong slide muna? Okay. So, can I ask Arbs to please allow the cameras of the attendees?
Yeah, sure. I'll wait.
Wait ha. Sige. So, naka-on na ba ng cameras lahat?
Hi, Miss
Okay,
Noel.
I can see Miss Nol.
Yes. Hi.
Sir Ricard.
Hi, Sir
Hi.
Car. Hi.
I can see Miss Cheryl, Miss
Nefri.
Jacqueline,
Hi, Nef.
Nefri. Sige.
Yeah, hi,
So,
everyone.
Oh. Okay. Wait ha. Yan. Large gallery na. Wow, ang dami.
Ang dami ng Jensen team, oh. Kitang-kita. Hello.
Nature's
Conequip.
Legacy. Conequip. Sampo.
Simon.
Makakadalawang frames ata tayo. Yeah.
Yan, may dumadagdag
From
pa.
Simon also. Henson team.
Wow, dami. Miss Cristel, hi.
Yeah. Sige. Okay. Can I ask Hannah and RV to do the screenshots? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay. Again. And 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay.
Wow, mura lang. Parang movie date ah. Thanks. Parang movie date. Thanks everyone. Maraming salamat for attending. Thanks everyone. Tapos anong next, Phil?
Sige. So yung next is raffle na tayo.
Okay, raffle na. Sana manalo ako. Kasama ba ang Arc1 team? Hindi.
Hindi.
Hindi. Sige.
Attendees lang. Clients. Sige, Han, can you share? Hannah pala is our marketing from Luzon. So during the courtesy visit, she'll also be there together with the account manager and Sir Irwin. Okay, for our first winner, we have...
Congrats, Be. Ano yung prize, Phil?
500 Gcash
Okay.
to.
Uy! Miss Nol!
Ben naman, oh. Miss
Miss
Nol.
Nol.
Okay, for our next winner, we have Miss Maricar Karaang.
Congrats.
For our third winner, we have Sir Jed Franciscan Galarioza.
Congrats.
For our fourth winner, we have... Who's the lucky one? We have Miss Crizel Santos.
Congratulations.
Congrats, Miss Crizel. And our last winner, we have Miss Queenie Sese.
Congratulations.
Sige. So congratulations to all the winners. Please send in your emails later on because I'll be sending the prices via GCash. So thank you for joining in today's refresher training. On to the next, we'll be having the production module this coming August. So to everyone who has a production module, see you on August. Okay?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. So this has been Phila saying, here in ARP1, we've always got you covered. Bye.